Dad was a bit like a kid in a candy store. I think he would just walk in and whatever shiny thing caught his fancy, I think it was just like that one, and that one, and that one. Unlike with Mom, where I think art was much more of a curated thing of like what she wanted to look at every day. Picking out one toy doesn't tell you anything about Dad. Picking out one art piece wouldn't have told you anything about Mom's taste. It's just one piece of a much larger puzzle.
The grouping of outsider artists were the first pieces Robin and I collected together. There was a little gallery in San Francisco on Fillmore Street called Primitivo. You know, it was sort of a way we could buy pieces that we liked and spend just a little bit of money, and I think Howard Finster was in that first grouping. When I was in New York, I sought out the Phyllis Kind Gallery because that was where all of the outsider art was. The Wolfley, which is an outrageously amazing piece. I wanted to get a little simple present for Robin and fell in love with that. It was a big deal for me at the time. I mean, I'd never spent that kind of money on art, and whoever gets that is gonna be lucky. I never really aspired to be an artist. I liked to think of art as how I lived my life. I wanted to work with people that I enjoyed what they did, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to create something. I wanted to get a hold of Debbie Butterfield to find out if I could have her do 3 horses, one for each of my kids, for our ranch up in Napa. She came up to the ranch and walked around, and she thought it was a great idea. She went back to Montana, got her truck, and then drove to Napa, picked up downed wood from all over the ranch, and took it back to Montana and started building. Abakanowicz, when I was in art school, I fell in love with her work. I was doing a lot of 3-dimensional sculptural kind of weaving pieces, and at that time, she was the goddess of that. After I made Mrs. Doubtfire, I went, oh, I think I want to live with one of her pieces for a while. She wasn't available to come and install it, so I installed it. And then about 2 years later, I asked if I could take her up there to see it, and she didn't want me to move any of it, so that was great. We both loved Judy McKee's work. We bought everything she was doing for a while there, benches and chairs and vessels. Robin loved all primates, always, so the monkey chair, yeah, that's a special one.
This is a patrol of battle beasts that's coming up this way with Koala Bill.
With Zach, I think Robin played the most with the little tiny figurines. We would set up these kind of terrains out of blankets and pillows and things on the floor, and then they would arrange battalions of soldiers or space marines or whatever toys they were playing with, and make all the noises of the guns and the guys. I would see something like the Wahlburger cowboy, and it would make me laugh because it reminded me of Robin. This was this larger-than-life-size version of that.
You see, this is what Dad does for a living. Plays with the big planes.
Most of Dad's toys weren't the kind of toys you play with. It's that old joke of being like, they're not toys, they're figurines. Like, there were quite a few of them that you weren't supposed to touch, and they were really beautiful and very, very delicate. So they were art themselves. We grew up with a really healthy respect for what you could and couldn't touch as well. I've come to really appreciate it was a very different way to grow up.
At some point when my kids got to a certain age, I had decided that I was going to get them art that I thought they could relate to. And so I checked out street art, and one of them was Banksy, one of them was Shepard Fairey. I started buying them as gifts for my family. So the Happy Choppers Banksy was an early Banksy piece that I bought for Robin as a gift because it's, it's helicopters, and I knew he would like that piece. Buy what you love and want to live with. That's it. I bought what I fell in love with. And I know Robin was the same way.